Hello, gorgeous goddesses. I'm Belle from Oldham Crone, and how are you? Nearly stumbled on my words. So I have notes here to keep me on track. Perimenopause, forgetful brain, and I love what I do. So I can easily get sidetracked and we can go on a tangent and be here for a very long time. So welcome. Today's video is about turning your wounds into wisdom. So this is something I'm super passionate about. It's also AKA shadow work, but I really love the saying wounds into wisdom, because you know what, it doesn't matter. So what are wounds? It doesn't matter. No one comes through this life without some kind of wound. So wounds are hurts, pains, or traumas. So from our childhood. So some have, and it's not about competing. It's not about, oh, my wound's worse than yours or anything like that. It's about, if something has upset you, if something has hurt you, or if something's caused you trauma, then it is important and it is valid, right? But we're not really taught in society to how to work through those wounds, how to alchemize those wounds, how to make them work for us, you know. And some wounds can be quite traumatic and devastating and really impact us for the rest of our life. And the thing is, without doing the inner work, the inner journey, the shadow work with our wounds, what happens is they play out in our subconscious every single day. They keep going over and over and over again. And by subconscious, I mean without realizing. So every choice, every decision, every direction, or wherever we go, that wound is playing out, or that trauma or that pain or that hurt, and it affects everything, every aspect of your life. And also too, I find too, one of the things for me is with shadow work is, especially if it's involved someone like a parent or child, like from your childhood. A lot of our stuff comes from our childhood, right? So if something's happened, I find if we're still feeling hurt or pain from something that's happened, then that person lives rent free in our energy. That hurt and pain is festering away, right? We can't change things. We can't change the past. The only thing we can change about the past is what is our perception of it in the present moment, right? But we can get caught up in those hurts and pains, and it affects our relationships, it affects our jobs, it affects our mental, emotional, physical body, our spiritual health. It has such a huge and can have a huge detrimental effect on all aspects of ourselves, right? So shadow work, I've got so much to say and my brain's going, the ADHD is coming out a million miles an hour. So, and I'm sure I'll do many, many more videos and talk more about this, because I'm really passionate about it. In the Autumn Croton Temple, we do each month we do shadow work. We either with a goddess or a spirit animal or some kind of other aspect to work through these, because in our shadows are also gems, right? So in our shadows, we all have a shadow. No one is of exception to it. A shadow is the aspects of ourselves that we like to hide away. So we like to hide them away from other people, and we can see that in people pleasers, in people that pretend to be something else to impress other people, or that believe if they really knew who I was, they wouldn't like me. We also have aspects of ourselves that we want to hide, even from ourselves. We don't want to admit to ourselves, an example is, good girls don't cry, boys don't cry, and try to hide it and stuff it down. But you can only stuff so much shit down before it explodes. So the shadow aspect is that hidden part of ourselves, and it's where our hurts, pains, and traumas live as well. Can you overcome hurt, pains, and traumas? Absolutely, you can. They can be turned around. Sometimes you can do it on your own. Sometimes support is needed. Sometimes professional support is needed. So definitely, reach out if that is the case and get it. It is worthwhile. Is doing shadow work, going in the depths of it, easy? No, it's not. It's messy. It's cathartic. It's just to describe it. But is it worth it? Absolutely. Freeing yourself from those binds, those chains of those pains, hurts and traumas and people and situations and experience. Is it worth it? Oh my goddess, yes, it is absolutely worth it. It frees you up. It really allows you to allow more love into your life, more abundance into your life. It allows more opportunities to open up. It is and it, you know, like one aspect of it, and which is really challenging, is forgiveness. It doesn't mean that you condone actions, but it means that by forgiving, that you do it for you free up. Because when we hold on to those hurt, pains and angry, if I'm angry because such and such did something to me, then I'm the angry one, right? I hold on to that anger, and there is nothing wrong with anger. Anger is a normal human emotion. It's not a bad thing. It's not good girl. What is it? You know, good girls don't get angry. That is horseshit. It is about what you do with that. It's what the actions people take when in anger. Depends on whether it's good or bad. All right. So taking it out on other people and hurting other people is not good. All right. But the actual emotion and feeling angry is normal. Right? It is part of us. It's part of our human experience. It is part of, it doesn't feel nice, right? I know for me, like, you know, how does it feel for you? How does it when you feel angry? You know, I feel heavy. I feel like it feels like a heavy weight on me, and I feel tense, and I I don't like it. It is very uncomfortable feeling, right? But I've learned stuffing it down doesn't, that's just like a volcano waiting to happen. And a good example of seeing people that have stuffed down hurts, pains and traumas is road rage. People get caught up in that moment of somebody doing something, and it explodes like a volcano, because really someone cutting you off doesn't really deserve someone getting out and punching the shit out of you. Like, that's just unresolved shit going on. Anyway, that's a good example. So, you know, forgiveness can be hard, it can be challenging, but it is a journey that is worth doing. It frees you up. It allows you to live more in a way in love and compassion and kindness. And, you know, when we've got hurt and anger inside of us, it leads to stress. You know, we're getting more of the flight, fright, freeze response, those hormones. When they are used too much, it causes inflammation in the body, which, you know, leads to disease in the body, you know, which puts more stress on you, and it puts more stress on your life, your relationships, and all aspects of your life, right? And so I'll share something, my example. You know, I've had a traumatic childhood. I had step parents that were abusive, on all levels. One in particular was when I was a teenager, my stepfather at the time sexually abused me. There's a lot of other stuff that led to that. Like, my brother had died before, my baby brother had died, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it all came out, and him and my mum died afterwards anyway, but not the point. But anyway, I got to my early 20s, and I didn't want that sexual abuse trauma to affect the rest of my life. I didn't want to turn into a bitter, old, angry woman. I didn't want it to affect me as a mother, and have, you know, my past traumas, you know, restrict or come out with my kids. Because if we don't resolve those past hurt, pains and traumas, they play out in our subconscious, right? So, and without realizing it, that affects every decision, every choice, the way you act, the way you behave, the way you react, the way you respond. It affects every aspect of you, whether you realize it or not. If not, it's denial. So, you know, so anyway, so I, in my early 20s, and my spiritual journey, I'd really just started to become aware of Reiki. I started to, you know, do meditation circles, you know, started buying the books. Yeah, that was before I got into a coven. But anyway, so I really came to a place where I didn't really want to have those things affect me anymore. I didn't want them to have long-term detrimental effects. As far as I was concerned, the abuse had caused enough. It had taken away a lot of stuff. It caused a lot of hurt, caused a lot of pain, caused a lot of crap. And I just didn't want to continue that cycle of those hurt, pains and traumas, right? So I So what did I do? I went into a meditation. My stepfather passed away. He was actually going to jail. He admitted it, so he was going to jail. I think we were bypassing like a court case and all that sort of stuff because he admitted it. But he was not going to go to jail as far as he was concerned. So he took the easy way out. So I went into a meditation and I met him. And I forgave. I don't condone. I would never condone that behaviour. That it's just unacceptable. There's no excuse for it or whatever. But it was a forgiveness for me. It was. You could look at it as being selfish, but it was a forgiveness of freeing me. It was about letting go of the hurts, pains, and anger, so I could let more love into my life, so I could feel better, so I could. Just live a life more from love, and make more aligned decisions and choices and things in my life. And so it was really powerful, actually. I remember I had a jumper on and I'd cried throughout this meditation, and just like the tears, I don't really remember crying, but the tears would just pour in to the point when I woke up. I was kind of shocked how much I'd cried, because there's this huge wet patch on my jumper, and I was thinking, oh God, I didn't realize. But it wasn't like, I don't know about you, but when I cry, it's not too often, it can be quite cathartic. You can feel really tired. You can feel really like you need to sleep, and it can be quite draining. But with this, I actually didn't. I felt quite the opposite. I felt lighter. I felt free. I actually felt like I had a bit more of a bounce in my step, and all that sort of stuff. So, and how did I know that worked? Because of family dynamics, which I'm not going to go into. There's other people involved and all that sort of stuff, so for their privacy and all that sort of stuff. So over the next few years, and actually it's been a couple of decades now, but back in the early days, it was quite raw, and then there was the death and all that kind of stuff. So things kept arising, things kept getting thrown back in my face. I did cop a lot of abuse of family members. It's quite amazing when you speak up about abuse, how many other people go on to abuse you and tell you it was all your fault and blah, 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 and you're a liar, all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, from those experiences, I didn't really... Those situations when people were having goes at me and telling me it didn't happen and blah, 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 I didn't get charged. I didn't have an emotional charge with it. I know it happened. Nobody needs to convince me. None of those fuckers were there. So I know it happened, right? And so their opinions meant nothing to me. I didn't get upset. I didn't get angry. I didn't react. I'm just like, it says more about you than me. Like, someone has said that they were inappropriately sexually abused, and that's how you go into defensive mode for the perpetrator. Says a lot for you. Won't be trusting you around my children or having you in my life, so see you later. But I didn't really get charged with it, and it kind of was like, okay, that releasement, that forgiveness and all that sort of stuff really did make a difference, right? So it was something, and what do I do now? I share my story, not out of sympathy or anything like that, but to share with other women that I'm sorry it's happened. It shouldn't, but it still does. But you are stronger than you give yourself credit for, and you can turn this around to work for you. So I share my story in the way that you don't have to keep letting that hurt and that pain define you, to dictate to you. That person has taken enough away from you, and you deserve all the love and joy, happiness and abundance in this world as a divine goddess that you are. So, from that wound and into wisdom, I share my story to empower, to inspire, and you're not alone, unfortunately. And you can have a life that you enjoy, a life that you love. So that was when I was in my teens. I am in my early 40s now, Does stuff still come up from that sexual abuse? Yes, it fucking does. You know, I have an amazing husband. I'm so lucky to have met the love of my life, to really create a relationship that is beyond my wildest dreams. Do you know what I mean? So by doing the shadow work, by clearing out those wounds and turning them into wisdom, you know, going into the shadows and turning that dark and finding those gems and really amplifying those gems within you, you can have the love of your life. You can have a life that you love, a life that brings you joy and happiness and all that sort of stuff. Those experiences don't have to define you or rule you for the rest of your life, right? They you can go in there and, you know, what did you learn from it? What did you grow? How much stronger it's made you? How much more aware it's made you? And this is what shadow work is going in and switching our perception of those. It's not condoning, please. I can't stress that enough. It's not about condoning, but it's going, you can't change it. What you can change is your perception of it and how it's helped, not help's not the right word, but how you have grown and evolved from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's about sharing that journey, something so painful and traumatic that, you know I'm not the only one, and it's about inspiring other women to, you know, you can move forward, and, you know, it's not going to go away. You can't change that, but you can use it to grow, to evolve, to heal, and really shine your life more brightly and live a life that you love and that you enjoy. And that's what it is all about, is with our wisdom into wounds and doing that shadow work. It's about transformation. It's not about being stuck, and it's not about, you know, what you focus on is what grows. And, you know, when we focus more on that, you know, the love, the compassion, the empathy, the abundance in our life, that's what grows as well. It doesn't mean we bypass all the crap. We don't, but we can transmute. It's alchemy. That's what alchemy is. Wounds into wisdom is about alchemy. It's taking the shit and making it shine, right? It's that transformation, that it's that journey, it's that process, it's that alchemizing it, right? It can be done. We don't have to be stuck in our hurt, pains, and traumas. We can really shift it. Like, I know for me, my life, like, and I've only touched on something, an aspect of my trauma. There is so much there from being abused as a child. You know, I've gone through divorce. I've gone through, you know, I had a stillborn child. You know, I've had miscarriages. I've had health issues. I have endometriosis, had adenomyosis. Now there's probably nerve damage there, and anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia. You know, I've had all these things, but I have an amazing life. I have the most amazing husband, and the connection and the friendship, and just like, when I used to fantasize about the man of my dreams, it's better in reality. It's beyond that, right? I'm fortunate enough to have children. I've had fertility issues. I've had miscarriages. I've had a really bad high medical miscarriage. I've had a stillborn son. I've also been lucky to have 3 children. So I'm exceptionally blessed and grateful and abundant. We have a beautiful home. I get to do my soul work. Do you know what I mean? So I've come from trauma. I've come from the hurts and the pains, the instability, the childhood, the abusive childhood. You know, I've come from that, and I've been able to transmute it, to alchemize it, and to turn it into a life that I truly love and truly blessed. And that's why I do, and the work that I do now here in Autumn Crone is about that. It's about helping women to guide, to see the light, and see the light within them, to really embody their own inner goddess, and to live a life that they love. And life is worth living, but it's worth living in a way that feels amazing. And really, there is a lot of abundance and amazing things in our lives. So it's about focusing on them and amplifying them. And then when shit does happen, because it does, life happens, shit happens, and it will keep happening. But how we react or respond to it is our choice, and how we can then alchemize it to make it work for us as well. So I could keep going. I'm very passionate about wounds into wisdom, and I can give you plenty of examples even in my own life. If you'd like to know more about us, check out our website at www.autumncrone.com. You can sign up we have a free intuitive priestess community, which is a free Facebook group. We also have a paid group, a Autumn Crone Temple, where we do this kind of stuff. We do each month, we have at the start of the month a wisdom focus circle, which is about doing going in into our shadows. We journey either with a goddess to really amplify those inequalities and have that support from the universe. We do women's circle. We do which is more focusing on the lighter stuff. So we do the shadow and the light aspects. Dave has a mediumship development circle, so really connecting with your own abilities and amplifying your own abilities, your connection with spirit. We do readings in there once a month. We have posts in there. We have a support reflection call at the end of the month. So it's a beautiful sacred group, and you get to meet some amazing women as well. I've seen some over the years we've done this work, some really amazing friendships form in the sisterhood. It's a really beautiful place to get supported and guided along the way as well. So what else is it? Oh, and you can join up to our free grimoire, Autumn Crone Grimoire, which is just a collection of our work through our newsletter. So that is on there as well. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am open to questions. I love questions, and I look forward to connecting more. Hope you have a magical day, and see you next time. Bye.